Hey everybody, I'm Katallina, and today we're here to talk about episode 11 of Mission Yozakura Family. Something I think I'm starting to notice about this show is that some of these zany situations that happen to different characters, especially with any connection to the idea of attraction, are a feature, not a bug. Whether we're talking about the behaviors of Kyoichiro toward Matsumi, or the fact that there are a slew of characters, male, female, and anything in between, who end up being attached to Matsumi, Taiyo, or any number of other characters. It just seems like it's something that is going to be a part of this show. It is as crucial as mayo on a McChicken, and it's just gonna be there. And that's fine, it doesn't bother me or anything, but I remember in the very beginning when I started watching this, I thought the show was so strange for that, and it kind of took me for a loop. And it took a while for me to get used to it, but I kind of just rolled with it in this episode, because the way that the guy who came in during the exam section of the story came off and everything, at first I was like, what on earth? And then I'm like, he's pretty cool actually. I mean, he's not gonna go or get anywhere, but he's definitely making for some cool comedy, and his design was really awesome. I really liked him. I'm really sorry I don't have his name, you know how I am with those, but I really loved that fan he had that was dark blue and had the moon. His wind powers were really awesome, and I like the fact that one of the key things that they were actually examining the people who were taking the test for was how decent they were as people, because one of the things we keep hearing about spies in this universe is that they are not trustworthy, that they will do anything for a buck, that they will sell each other out in a heartbeat, and that in general they just seem like they're actually rather scummy. And I mean, I'm sure there are situations where any spy, even a decent person, is going to potentially have to do things that they would not actually find moral in normal polite society. But I also think that it's really cool that, it seems to me at least, that one of the things that this spy organization that's giving these exams cares about is retaining the humanity and decency of its members. And I think it's really important, because if the people who are signing up for this specific group or membership are constantly selling each other out, then it's going to make it a lot harder for them to actually work together and get things done. And I think that really worked in Taiyo's favor as well, because Taiyo actually did an amazing job on the exam. He actually did really good at a bunch of the different events and everything. But the way that he was interacting with the people and dealing with situations, and the way other people were treating him, especially that one guy who thought he was going to get the bounty that's on Taiyo's head, and who tried at multiple points to stop Taiyo from succeeding, was acting, is the highlight and the contrast between Taiyo and his competition. And as somebody who feels that storytelling, it's not that it needs to always have like a situation like that's the moral of the story, but I do think that the way stories and characters influence us is valuable, and to see a character like Taiyo coming out on top is really cool. I also thought it was really funny seeing the interactions between this guy who is kind of coming on to Taiyo, and then Matsumi, who's just like, excuse me, what are you doing to my husband? Was really, really funny. Especially there was this one shot where he's all like hearts and bubbles and swirls like he's trapped inside of a shoujo anime, and she just has this dark, angry purple aura coming off of her. And it was the most hilarious shot, and it just had me laughing and laughing and laughing. And I thought that that was super good. I think that humor and that contrast was really valuable, because on the other side of the episode, in the first half, we actually get really interesting interactions with Futaba. It's her week to shine or to shiver, depending on how you want to look at what happened to her here. But it's her turn to be in the spotlight, and I think that it was really interesting what they did with her. Much like what we saw when we had the Shinzo episode, where we saw that Shinzo is super powerful, but that he also has a super weakness. The same holds true for Futaba, which, as I said in that episode, I will repeat here, makes her an incredibly much more relatable and interesting character. Whereas Shinzo doesn't handle not having a gun in his hands in a conflict very well, with Futaba, the situation on the surface is that she is afraid of ghosts, and that was played for a ton of laughs. There was a really great shot where like they are trying to get all these things to get her mind off of it. They have her they read her a bedtime story even though she's one of the elder siblings and everything, and that was cute. There was a bunch of different little shots done, and one of those was that something about a haunted house came on a TV and Shinzo shot the TV like he was Elvis. I loved that. That was funny. But there were a whole bunch of them that were really cute. There was one in the bath that was really comical. But I mean, it's very obvious that this is something that she really fears. And what we find out, in the beginning at least, is that the reason she fears it and the reason she struggles with it is that she can't actually fight ghosts. She can fight zombies, she can fight this, she can fight that. Because her skill, of course, is Aikido. But she can't fight ghosts. Well, the real reality that we find out later on when she is talking alone with Taiyo is that what she can't fight are the ravages of time. What she can't fight is the fear of losing the people she loves. What she can't fight is the inevitability of death. And that scares her shitless. So she kind of puts on the being afraid of ghosts, even though it's not the ghosts themselves, it's what they represent to her in her mind. Dating back to the loss of her mother when she was younger. And Taiyo can completely relate, of course, because what's happened to him in the last, I'll estimate, year? He lost everyone he loved. He lost his brother, he lost his mom, he lost his dad. I mean, he has the new people in his life now, which is excellent, but his entire, security system, his entire stability system, his entire, family net was just instantly wiped out in one shot. And as we've seen in previous episodes, it's entirely possible that this was done out of some sort of malice, which wasn't so much touched on in this episode itself, but which is something as viewers that we need to keep in mind, and that I'm sure is going to continue to pop up during this season, and that I'm sure is a theme we will see dealt with again. But overall, I super enjoyed this episode. I thought that the way that they broke this down and that they took the time to spend some time on one of the characters, and they took some time to show us another element of what would essentially be a training arc showing the advancement of Taiyo. I thought the way they blended them together was really clever, and it really held my interest, and it definitely made the episode very fun for me. Anyway, I'd love to know what you guys thought, so feel free to drop a comment below and let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Talk to you later. Bye!